All right, let's jump into this because we're live streaming and I'm really excited about this chapter. And you want to know why? Because Grant goes in and he defines success. Now, I asked a question. What is your definition of success? Jen Steyer, she's dropping off her kiddos. That's why she couldn't speak. But she said, she sent me a message and she said, success to me is continuing to find balance, continuing to find my balance. Man, we talk about that a lot on this call, don't we, Limitless? We talk about that a lot. We did that with the Traveler's Gift, talking about balance. Let me hear some more. I want to hear two more. What is success? How do you define success? Bueller?
Happiness.
Casey, I love it. Happiness.
Happiness. True happiness.
Happiness. I love that. True happiness. That's how you define the success. Who else? I want to hear from one more. How do you define success?
Hello?
Sam? Oh, Sam, and then we'll go Nico.
Continuing to move forward and ignoring the naysayers and just being positive.
Oh, man, I love that. Getting those naysayers over there and only focusing on the people that are building you up and surrounding you with abundance and uplifting you, Sam.
That's a Joel scene every morning. Listen to him.
Hey, you know what? That's awesome. You're feeding your mind with positivity.
Yeah. Have to do it.
You hear? Hello?
I love it. I love that.
Go.
Nico, and then who said I'll go?
Me.
Rita. Okay, Rita, we'll go Nico, then we'll go Rita.
Okay.
Nico? You got to unmute. Rita, you go ahead while Nico's unmuting.
Oh, okay. I think that trying different things when you're a new realtor and seeing what works best for you. And I think everybody knows what their little gift is in this business and focusing on that and a few other things just to see if those things work.
Yeah. Okay, great. So trying new things and finding your niche, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Great, Rita. Nico?
It's not working.
No, we can hear you.
Oh, cool. All right.
Let's go.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Success to me is, achieving those goals that you set yourself to do so. And truly it's who you become more than reaching out the goal. The goal, you will get there, but it's more important. And to me, to be successful is truly becoming who you're becoming as you go through that journey. So that's
I love that. And I love that. And here's why I love everything that you guys are saying. Every one of you, you're all right. Because guess what? You know, what I took out of this chapter is that Grant says is that success is how you define success, right? When we were children, like I'm watching my grandbaby on FaceTime because she's in Vermont and I can't be with her and I wish I could, but I'm watching her in video learning to walk. Right now, her level of success is going from crawling to standing to walking, holding on to this little grocery cart that she pushes around and slams into cabinets, to actually walking unassisted at some point. When you're a teenager, it's different. When you're an adult, it's different. When you are in the sunset of your life, it's different. Success is how you define it. So I want to go through 3 specific points here that I felt were that really grabbed hold of me, especially in this business of real estate, or if you're not in real estate, owning your own business. There are 3 points that I think Grant is making in this chapter. And it's a short chapter, but man, I pulled a lot out of it. And I want to know what you think about this. Number 1, success scares people. Success scares people. I see people nodding their heads. Success scares others, and success sometimes scares me. Because when we have to be successful, or when we are successful, we have to show up differently, right? We have to show up differently for ourselves and for other people. And so what happens is we have other people in our lives that show up. And when we're edifying ourselves by listening to and surrounding ourselves with the 5 important people that are going to make a big difference in the way we think, then we have those people show up that Sam's talking about, the naysayers. You know, sometimes these naysayers, guys, they're not trying to hurt you. They actually may love you. It could be your parents. It could be your spouses. It could be your children. It could be your friends. They actually may love and care about you, and they don't want to see you get hurt. But what happens is they detract you from your goal. They say things like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure this is going to work out? Are you sure, Giselle, you want to leave that full-time job and go full-time into real estate? I don't know. What are you thinking? You get a steady paycheck, right? Are you sure you want to grow your own team, Nico? Are you sure, Jordis?
Yeah.
You want to get leverage? You know, are you really think you can handle that? Do you think won't you have to work more? You know, we have people that are pouring all of this stuff into us, right? And it's not that they don't love us, it's because they do love us and they want to protect us. But really what's happened is they've tried things in their own life that they haven't been successful at. And they know what can happen when you fail and you don't push through that failure. And because they love you and they care about you, they're trying to pull you back to protect you, right? And there's no judgment around that, because let me ask you this question. How many times has someone else wanted to do something or had a big goal or a big plan and you yourself second guessed them and maybe spoke that out loud? Even to your kids, to your grandkids, to your spouse, because you love them and you care about them and you don't want to see them get hurt. So the naysayers aren't only people that are jealous or people that are just negative in general. They are also people that love us. And so we also have to understand when we're having conversations with people we love, that there is a filter that comes through. And that filter, we always need to be asking a question about that and really stand in the gap for ourselves. And that's why the 5 people you surround yourself with and who feed into you are so important, right? Are so important. Any
Hey,
thoughts
Becky.
on that? Yeah. Who said, hey, Becky?
Zach,
Zach, yeah.
you know, what I see and I've heard and I've seen it is that, you know, the first coach I had, you know, when we first started, you know, and I was scared of real success because I was younger, and he said, you know, success, you know, exposes mediocrity, and mediocrity does not like to get exposed. And he said that can come from family.
Can you say that one more time?
He said success exposes mediocrity, and mediocrity does not like to be exposed. And that can be friends, it can be family, coworkers. And when you really hit that next level, it starts to shed light on maybe that other guy's not working his full potential either. And they don't like that.
And I love that, Zach. And what I love about that is we can also apply that to ourselves. So it's not only other people, it's us. It exposes our own mediocrity.
Becky?
And that's not a bad thing. It's just saying, okay, guys, here's areas where you get to choose now. You have an opportunity to choose to either work on that area where there's mediocrity and you want to get better, or you feel like you should get better, or you can choose to stay in the safe place, which is out of the light and in your safe zone. There's no judgment around it. It's your choice. Although I think all of you are showing up for this call because you want to move into those areas of your life that maybe you're a little bit nervous about or scared of, or you want to 10x that goal and do something bigger. So I love that, Zach, because it is so true, and it's not a negative thing. It's just reality. And it's the way that we show up every day that allows us to be that different person. Nico, I cut you off. I'm sorry. You were going to say something.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. So one of the things also I believe, and we all, I think, at fault to it, is that people will judge on their own abilities. So they will recommend or suggest you not to do something based on their thinking about them not being able to do so. And therefore they transmit that to you, not in a bad way, but they don't see themselves doing it. Therefore, they're just going to tell you that it is not doable or attainable.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Has anybody ever experienced that? Raise your hand. You ever experienced that? So when we talk about success, and I want to get to my other 2 points, I love the dialogue. Thank you so much. Success scares people. And I always think to myself as I say, you know what, there are other people that are scared of success, and I don't want to be in judgment of those people, because I have to look in the mirror and examine my own ways that I'm scared of success. And guys, that shows up in business. That shows up in focusing on your health and wellness. That shows up in your marriage, in your partnership, with your relationships. Where are you scared to be vulnerable and show yourself? So we can catch ourselves being in judgment of someone else, and yet it all starts right here. And when we take personal accountability for that, we can then help others. Second thing, so that's my way of saying don't judge others too harshly. Just surround yourself with people that are going to constantly build you up. Second thing that Grant says, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, is he says we underestimate the importance of success. Okay, so I think that when people, this is my opinion, when people think about success, they think of immediately people that have had massive amounts of success, like Oprah Winfrey or Steve Jobs or whomever it is, right? And yet, success really is anyone who has achieved a goal. Like, for example, maybe you know a single mother that has worked 3 jobs to support a family of 4 and put food on the table and clothes on their back. And their goal every day was just to put one foot in front of the other. That is success, because without that success, what would have happened to that family unit, right? Or maybe it's someone who sat down one day that had an inspirational thought and wrote a blog that absolutely changed your life. Have you ever read anything that made you think differently and changed your life? What if you wrote a note to that person who gave you that thought or that information and thanked them for not giving up on their own success of writing or blogging or vlogging, right? Success is important, not because of a look at me and a bragging kind of way. Success is important because without success, we lose, right? We don't win, we don't achieve. So I want you to go with me to page 23 in the 10X book, and I want to read something to you. All right. Individuals and groups must actively accomplish their goals and targets in order to carry on. If not, they will either cease to exist or be consumed and become part of something else. In 2008 to 2010, many companies ceased to exist and they became part of other companies. I was with a company that was swallowed by another company that won, right? So how can you apply this to your real estate business? We're going to take a quick turn, is to say, okay, do we underestimate the importance of success enough that it's not just about playing the game? It's vital that you turn to win at it, because winning over and over again at everything in which you are involved yourself ensures that you will be able to further expand, and it guarantees that both you and your ideals will survive into the future. Page 23 to me is the most important page in this book, because right now we are all experiencing massive levels of success, are we not? All of us are. Don't be fooled. In 2008, many people were as well. And then life changed. Things changed. So success is also about looking at yourself, looking at your business, looking at your systems, your models, your habits, the consistent things you do every day. And I want you to ask yourself, if what you are doing today, is it what you would do in 2008? Back in 2008, when the market crashed, every decision you make today, every system you set up in your business, every conversation you have, if you were in survival mode and just trying to get a deal closed, would you make those same decisions that you're making today? Would you make those when you were in survival mode in 2008? And if not, I would ask you, implore you, beg you to start thinking in survival mode, because what goes up must what?
Go down.
Go down. And I want you to be excited and love and really just bathe yourself in the success that you're having in this wonderful market. And yet I would not love you if I didn't tell you that it is time for you to start getting really intentional on what your business and your processes are, so that when the market changes, you come out winning and not come out absorbed or irrelevant. Does that make sense? Can you raise your hand if you guys get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now is the time to get that together. What are your thoughts on that? I'd love to hear from somebody. Yes, Jan.
A note I've always carried for the last 20 years is that success is not an accident. It is deliberate. It is intentional. It is not always easy, but anybody who's lived through the last 20 years knows that it will come down. And you do have to have systems in place and know how to actually still go out and get the business, because sometimes you have to work at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jan. Thank you so much. And what I heard you say is that when times are really good, it's time to double down even more. Because what happens when times are good is we have the money. You know, Grant talks about, do we have the right people? Do we have the right amount of money? And do we have the right thought process in order to be successful? And I think what Grant is talking about is not only to take advantage of the success of today. Think about it. He wrote this book in 2011. What was going on then? It's not just to have success today. It's to prepare yourself to have success in any market under any circumstances, right? So my life will be complete if all 37 people that are on this call today actually grow their business in the next downturn. I mean, that would just make me so happy, because what you did today was to prepare for tomorrow. Okay,
But
we've got
Becky,
another.
Becky,
Yeah, go ahead. Who's
I
next?
know on that, it's
Jan.
still Jan.
Yeah, hey, Jan.
But I saw a lot, because at that time I wasn't a realtor, I was supporting realtors. I saw a lot of realtors just explode and expand because they were able to shift
Yes.
and find out how to do business during that downtime.
Yes.
So it's important.
It is important. It is important. So we talk about education. So brushing up on REOs, brushing up on foreclosures, brushing up on all of the things that may happen whenever the market turns, those types of things. Jan, I love that. Make that part of your system of success. Abigail.
You know, my previous life before being in real estate, I worked for mortgage loan servicing. And one way that our company stayed afloat during the whole crash is that we went from originating loans into servicing loans and then doing both. So we were literally able to handle both markets, which was very interesting. And we became experts at servicing mortgages, you know, with the whole modifications and the forbearances and the, you know, short sales and all of that. And then when things picked up, we were able to, you know, everybody that was kind of laid off was able to shift into the servicing side. And then when the market picked back up, they were able to get back into the commercial, you know, we started back into the commercial aspect of originations and then into residential originations. So yeah, it's important to be able to find a way to shift with the markets. I agree.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I'm going to say, and many of you that coach with me know this, is that this book, you need to know it inside out. This is a model and a system that whether you're with Keller Williams or any other brokerage, it doesn't matter. This book is sold and it's nationally known. This is a book that can help you in any business, not just real estate. If you own a business, if you, you know, if you sell cars, if you, whatever you do, right? If you sell air conditioners, this is a book that can help you move through any kind of shift in the market. So Abigail, thank you so much for saying that. You gave me a chance to plug the Shift book, which we're going to be going back through again. We went through it last year. We'll go through it again in 2021. All right, I'm going to finish up with the third item. Yes, somebody said my name.
Yes, you know,
Hey,
real
Nico.
quick, Becky. Yes, just coming back to the book, what he says about how we see and look at success. So he looked at it. We should be looking at success as somebody that have to be your duty, your responsibility, your obligation. So I guess it doesn't matter what market you go into, as long as you have the mentality of success is vital, not only for your family, but for the society, then you'll be able to overcome any obstacles that may be thrown at you. And truly say, get away from the naysayers that look at success as something like either you're greedy or you're too ambitious or any of that, which there's a lot of people like that. But, you know, maybe shifting the way we see success will definitely thrive our business in a more consistent and sustainable way.
I love that, Nico. You're absolutely right. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Success is your duty. So I'd love to finish up here because I want to respect your time. And I said this is a 30-minute call and we have 3 minutes left. I want to move to point number 3. Point number 3. So we started out with point number 1 of this chapter is success scares people. Number 2, never underestimate the importance of success. That's on page 23. So good. Read it. Prepare yourself. Now here's the third point. Who benefits when you give up on achieving success? Who benefits?
Nobody.
Nobody. This is the one that hit me right in the heart because he says, success is absolutely critical. Do kids benefit when their moms and dads, when they see their moms or dads losing or quitting? Does anyone benefit when you can't get your art sold or that great book published or that great idea that will improve everything? No one will benefit from your failure. You know, one of the things I love about the company that we're with, and many of you share the same values, is that we care about people. We care about their success. We care about people winning. And it's not just winning for the sake of the money that's in your account. It's being successful for your families. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, what would happen if, you know, whether you agree with Facebook or not, I don't know. We all use it to get business, right? I mean, it's a free marketing tool. Where would we be? What would we be doing differently, right? Not that knocking on doors is a bad thing. It's still a great part of business, but we would be doing a whole lot more of that, right? The pandemic social media allowed us to continue on. What if he had quit? Steve Jobs, what if he had quit? Henry Ford, what if he had quit? George Washington, Tim Berners-Lee. Does anybody know who Tim Berners-Lee is? I didn't know either. I had to look it up. He created the World Wide Web.
Oh, well.
Who knows who he is? I don't know who he is. Lewis Latimer. Does anybody know who Lewis Latimer is? Lewis Latimer was an escaped slave who actually filed the patents for Thomas Edison because Thomas Edison didn't know how to do it. So we give Thomas Edison all the credit, but the goals that this escaped slave had is part of the reason why Thomas Edison was successful. I don't know about you guys, but this Zoom light is important to me.
Can you repeat that last name?
Got my Zoom light. Say again, Abigail.
Can you repeat that last name that you just said? The
Lewis
slave that
Latimer. Lewis Latimer. Latimer. Who's impacted us? Grant Cardone. The ideas, has anybody been helped by this book so far? We're on page 3. Has anyone had a shift in mindset?
Absolutely.
Where would we be if Grant Cardone had said, you know what? No one wants to know what I've got to say. I'm just going to keep all of this to myself and I'm not sharing it with a darn person. Right? Guys, your success is so much more than your real estate success, but you've always heard me say this. Real estate is the career that you have that provides the financial ability for you to do the things that you want to do that are going to impact the people the most. And that is what we do real estate for. I love all of you guys. I'm so glad you showed up. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about success being your duty. I can't wait to hear from more of you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Remember, pretend you've got a little camera on you and it's following around all your day. And you're going to show this camera to your kids. And you're going to say, hey, kids, hey, grandkids, this is what success looks like. So make it a successful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.